And I'm going, when you first started, I go, what are you doing? You know, I don't get it. And then all of a sudden you started explaining it. And I went, oh, you're tying this together with the banner, the lifestyle, that's your culture, and like the culture of the brand. That's really, really incredible. Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast. Okay, in this episode, we're going to be talking about marketing strategies to grow your brand that actually work. Yep, actually work. We'll find out the marketing strategies that our guest has used to grow his brand, which new features and reports are being launched on Amazon, and what would you do differently going into 2023? So welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast. Lunch with Norm. Okay, like I said, we're going to be talking about marketing strategies that grow your brand that actually work. Yep, they don't suck, they actually work. And what I like about our guest today, he's a full-time Amazon FBA seller. He's got 2 feet in, and he can tell you exactly what's happening up and how you can fast forward your process dealing with your brand. He believes in hard work, adding value, and serving others, and doesn't believe in get-rich-quick schemes. Just like the podcast, we just want to tell you exactly how to do it and don't give you any false expectations about you can just overnight make it. You know, there might be the odd person, but it takes work and it takes hard work. Okay, this is our first time guest, Sammy Akhtar, and he's going to be coming to us in a second. But first, a word from our sponsor. Keeping inventory selling is a critical element to running a successful e-commerce business. Generating broad visibility and sales is a necessity. But with increased competition, more and more brands are vying for top placement on the marketplace. That's why it's critical to use off-marketplace strategies to drive traffic and sales to your Amazon, Walmart, or other e-commerce listings. That's why it's so critical to use off-marketplace strategies to drive traffic and sales to Amazon, Walmart, and other e-commerce platforms. Rebate.com delivers this by getting your product in front of hundreds of thousands of shoppers and converting those views into sales. Post deals to Rebate to successfully achieve page 1 rank and convert excess inventory back to cash. Use their influencer platform to pair your product with an Amazon Live influencer to drive sales and awareness. Get started today and sign up at rebate.com for a 14-day free trial and let them know. Welcome, Sammy.
Hi, Norm. How are you?
Good. How do you handle people that troll you on or just come up with stupid comments on your podcast?
Generally, I don't reply to them, or I try to reply with them a little bit sarcastic way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe that's what we'll have to do. So really appreciate you coming on today. And I'm thinking this is something that's going to be very unique that still not a lot of sellers are paying attention to, and that's brand. I don't know. And again, I get a chance to talk to a lot of new sellers that maybe, have taken a YouTube course or have taken some form of a course. They're just getting started and they're selling a product. They're not really getting into a brand. They have a logo, but that's really not brand marketing or building up a strategy. And this is where you come in. So I think we can dive as deep as we want with this, but where do we even start with this?
So, Norm, first of all, I am guilty because I have broken my promise. Last time we had you in our podcast, I kind of made a promise to myself that I'm going to grow my beard so that when I join your podcast, I can show you a little bit of my beard. But last day, I gave up, okay, and I had to trim it down. So that's where we start. Now, obviously, I 100% agree with you on that, that everyone is thinking about just the logo. Now, it used to be when we saw around 2017-18 range, but now you need to have a proper story, you need to have a proper audience that you are targeting, the avatar. So that is what we are going to talk today.
Okay. So you've got a very successful brand on Amazon and you've built the brand around it. Why don't we just start by digging back into what you've done? How did you build that brand?
Yeah, so I started selling on Amazon in the year 2017 when it was all
That's
very
actually kind
good.
of late.
We can,
You,
yeah,
you know, yeah, I'm serious because the big brand success usually came around ASM 1, 2, 3, 4, in around those times. You're coming in 2017. That actually, it sounds like it's not that far away, but in Amazon years, it was, later on. And to have a very successful brand like I know you do, I mean, that's a really great feat.
yeah. So we ran that brand for almost 2 years, and it went to around 600,000 a year. Then I exited that brand. I hand over to my partner who was involved in it. Now, after that, we shifted to focusing on our agency because during that time also I was trying to put all the content about how much sales I'm doing, what strategies I'm using, complete case studies of my particular brand on my YouTube channel. And that got me some traction of other sellers who want to take help from my that okay, we are facing some issues with advertising. So that time I decided to launch my agency, Regrow Media. And from then we have been handling a lot of brands, and we identify why not start again. The market has changed a lot, why not start again? And during that time I got approached with one person, and I really liked the idea of that brand, and I invested on that brand. Now I am a co-founder in that brand, and the brand name is The Ugly Coffee. The name itself is quite enticing, isn't it?
I like it.
So this brand, if I just give you a quick overview of this brand. Now this brand, we are not only focusing on the online channels, we are also focusing on the offline channels. And the entire offline channels we're using as a content machine. I've been following your videos lately, and you are putting a lot more effort on content, user generated content, posts. So we've been trying to get those kind of contents from all those offline channels as possible, because if we try to market online, not talking about Amazon or the traditional routes, let's talk about YouTube ads, Google
Mhm.
ads, or influencer marketing. Those are costly. So we are not talking about that. We are talking about all the offline channels. Like we are also creating stores, physical stores, the physical stores like food trucks and ice cream trucks in those two shapes. And those trucks are going to serve our coffees in cups. So that is where a quick overview of this brand. Now we are going to deep dive into what the products are, how we are scaling it, and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So the like getting into a physical store or truck or something like that, that might be a little hard for people that are just starting out. Let's talk about what you did to build the brand in the beginning. So coming up with the name Ugly Coffee, coming up with the whole brand culture around it, building the brand story, getting the word out there. That's what I'm interested in. Can you start with like just coming up with the whole culture around the brand, or coming up with the brand story?
Yeah. So first of all, I love to buy domains. Okay, I'm a huge fan of that, and
You and me
that is
both.
kind of my hobby. Okay, that's good. That's good. So I bought that domain called the Ugly Coffee because the name sounds really good and really interesting for me. So and year passed, I didn't use that domain at all. Now it was a time that yes, I came across this idea that I'm sure you know that coffee is the most chemically treated substance that human being consume right now, especially in
What?
India. Yeah, especially in India. Not talking about US and all, because we have lots of organic stuff. So in India, it is most chemically treated with all pesticides, insecticides, and all. And what we have observed is IT professionals and entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs consumes coffees the most. So here comes the point that why the coffee is ugly. So we name it ugly because of this, because the current coffee that they are consuming, it is really ugly. So we tried to bring in complete organic, complete natural coffee, along with adding some vitamins and minerals, completely plant-based on them, separate for males and separate for females. Now, how we did it is we first went on, hired a nutritionist, which was costly. So after hiring that, we told him our idea that, listen, this is our idea. We want you to first figure out what are the vitamins and minerals that a male body lacks on in this age group. And what are the vitamins and minerals that a female body lacks on during this age group. Then we kind of figured out a list of vitamins and minerals that we can add. And that way we got two coffees. First is a male range, then the female range. And that is how we differentiate among the two audiences. Then the next thing comes with our entire online operations. So we are partnering with one NGO. And that NGO, they generally support and provide employment to all the physically disabled personalities.
Okay,
Every
can you
person
stop
that is
there for a
physically
second,
disabled.
Sammy? Sorry
Yeah.
for interrupting. Just for people that don't know what an NGO is, can you explain that?
Yeah, NGOs basically non-profit organizations that help other peoples who are either physically challenged or maybe they are not able to get jobs. They help them by providing that. They take money from other organizations and completely fund those activities.
Very good. Sorry for interrupting. So continue on.
Yeah, so that NGO, they are supporting all the physically disabled. Maybe someone they can't walk. Someone they have some disabilities in their hand. Maybe they can't do or perform normal physical work that every person can do. So they are providing employment to those kind of personalities. So we approach them and we talk to them that entire online operations of our company, of our brand, The Ugly Coffee, we are going to use them for this. Because here, there's not so much physical activities. This is completely online activities. By online, I mean our website, our Amazon store, and we have another e-commerce channel in India called Flipkart, which is owned by Walmart. So that entire online operations is being handled by them. Next, moving to the physical part, the stores. So in the stores, what we have thought is to first approach all the persons who are mentally disabled. Now, what do I mean by that? Maybe there is some person who just got out from prison. He is not getting any job, but who might have good personality, who might just need one more chance. Or maybe there is someone whose family haven't accepted them, maybe because they have a lot of debt, maybe something, but they are really motivated. We try to give them a chance. And we also did is in the store, beside the store, we added one banner, a big banner that completely writes down all the story of that particular person that is serving the coffee. So that is how we are trying to showcase the ugly side of the society, which doesn't give chance to this kind of people, and they also need a chance. So we are trying to bring that story as well. So that is why the name Ugly Coffee stands for first the coffee. So going on completely organic, completely plant-based vitamins separate for male body, female body. Then comes the entire online operations, which are supported by people which generally considered as the ugly part of the society that people doesn't want to talk to. We are bringing them as our entire online operations partner. Then the physical stores, which are handled by mentally disabled people who are backed up. Maybe the family are not supporting them. So that is being handled by those people. So that is how the name come from.
Wow. You know what? I'm sitting here and I'm going, when you first started, I go, what are you doing? You know, I don't get it. And then all of a sudden you started explaining it. And I went, oh, you're tying this together with the banner, the lifestyle, that's your culture, and like the culture of the brand. That's really, really incredible. And you know what? I'm wondering what are any of the listeners, what you think about that. You know, when Sammy was talking about it, this is a very unique. I think it's genius the way that you put this together. And I know a lot of different coffees. I know a lot of successful coffee companies, but tying this all together, very, very, very interesting. So now when you created this brand, okay, Ugly Coffee, what was that step-by-step plan of action that you did to try to figure this out? And I'm going to expand on this just a bit more. And what are your day-to-day things that you have to figure out?
So if I just give you a quick overview of this current
Sure.
state of this brand, right now the products are in production, but we are valued at 200,000. I mean, we have got the first investment with a valuation of $200,000. Now the second round, which we are going for the investment, which will mainly focus on marketing, the entire online marketing, for which we are generating content for this over the like almost 3 to 6 months. So that we're aiming for an investment of $500,000. And if I just give you a step-by-step breakdown of this, first obviously comes the coffee, because without a good taste in the coffee, it is not going to work. I mean, we love coffee, right? Even I'm sitting, just finished 2 cups of coffee because it's midnight right now in India. So the taste of coffee really matters a lot to us, right? So that is where we had a lot of confusion and also fear at the same time, because when we add these vitamins, these minerals to a coffee, there's a question that how is it going to impact the taste of the coffee?
Right.
Whether is it going to smell as a medicine or a coffee? So we have tested like 5 to 6 different samples. We have redone complete the structure of the vitamins and all, how many percentage we are adding. We have to make the changes almost like 5 to 6 times, constantly going back and forth, testing new samples out, then figuring out, no. For the first sample that we got, I'll tell you a funny story. The first sample that we got, the beans were grinded. And the beans were grinded, but it was insoluble in water. So after we mix it in hot water, the beans were stuck at the bottom. And that was completely messing it up. Then we have to work with so there are 2 suppliers that is working in it. First, the manufacturer of the coffee, which is producing the coffee completely organic certified. Then comes a nutritionist who is getting the plant-based vitamins and then combining it together. So then we again talk to the manufacturer of the coffee or the production of the coffee. Then we told them that, listen, this is not going to work. How we are going to drink this coffee? So again, we told them that we need more grinded beans, more roasted beans. That is how we are going to mix it and get a proper taste. Now we got the new samples out. Then the nutritionist mixed that out. And there is like almost 24 to 48 hours. They need to keep the mixture so that it matures out. Then we can test it. Then the nutritionist ships us the new sample, the second sample. And in this sample, trust me, what is happening was, it was really tasting like, I'm not sure if you have tried green coffee. So green coffee is a coffee that only looks good. It doesn't taste good. It is awful in tasting. Okay. So I'm sure that you are a huge coffee fan. Okay. And if I give you green coffee, you will forget drinking coffee for the next time. So that is how bad green coffee tastes. And the second sample was tasting same exactly like that. Now, exactly, that is not going to work either. So we again talked to the supplier. We got a new beans, complete new beans, which are more roasted, which has more aroma. And then we tried to mix it. Now, the third sample, it showed a little bit good in taste. Now, the mixture was good. The solubility in water was good. We are not getting the amount of medicine smells in it, but still there was some smell in it. So followed by the 6th sample, the last sample that we got, we approved. In that, the caffeine kick was really high, which we loved. And no such smell of medicines was coming. And that is what we approve in the last. Right now, we are ready with the samples. It is going in the production. So the production have already started. We're going for a batch of 5,000 MOQ right now for 25 grams packets. That is what we are doing right now. And that is about the coffee. Okay, I'll tell you more story about the physical stores later down. That will be more interesting. So,
okay. All right. So yeah, that's all very interesting, and how this is, coming together and working with your manufacturer, just like any private label person needs to do. And by doing this, you end up with a better product. So this is coffee, but that could be a plastic shoe stretcher, and it's so important that you keep open communication with your manufacturer, your packaging company, your 3PL, everything like that. So yeah, everything you're doing so far is right on target. So let's talk about some mistakes you made during this process. So talking with your manufacturer or just trying to get this product launched, what were the mistakes that you made?
Yeah, the first mistake that cost us a lot, we almost lost like $2,000 to $3,000, and that was just to figure out, and because that there was a lack in communication between the coffee manufacturer and us. Okay, clearly there was a lack in communication that resulted in that the beans which were not grinded properly, so that the entire batch of almost like there was 3 to 5 kilos of coffee beans that were shipped by the manufacturer, and that was complete waste because we are not able to try that out, right? Because the beans were not properly grinded, properly roasted, because we were looking for more natural as possible, the more organic as possible, and less roasted. Now that costed us a lot because we didn't knew that this is going to taste this awful. Okay. So that was the only mistake that we did so far. Now, going down the line, we are obviously going to make more mistakes. I'm open to make more mistakes because that is what we are going to learn from, right?
Okay, well, I'm glad you only made the one big mistake, but testing, and I would consider what you've just gone through, and if I'm trying to put that towards any Amazon seller, is your split testing, your competitive analysis. So, and this is the same with any brand. So let's say that you have a logo or that you have the name of your company or a tagline, slogan. You want to split test that, and you can do that like going to a company like PickFu or Usability Hub. These are things that need to be put in order. If you didn't test out these coffees and you just brought it to market for the first time and you really didn't split test it, you could have had a lot of people eating or drinking, eating because the beans were still in it, but just something that was horrible, a horrible experience. So taking that, putting it all together, making sure that you split test your product, and this is a stretch. So I'm going from coffee to logo to brand name to slogan to brand story. All this is something that you should try to get other people's opinions on. And like with the ugly coffee, let's just go back to that for a second, the actual name, coming up with that story and what you told at the beginning, but coming up with a really concise paragraph or two that doesn't sound over exaggerated, that you can just drill down. And when people see it in the first sentence or two, go, aha, this is what this brand's about. So, for us, we've got basically two things going, and that's not necessarily a good thing, but we are Soap with a Cause. We believe that every human being has the right to the access of clean water, and we support these causes. But at the other side of things, it's natural soap for natural people, and it's very easy to click in. The brand is about how my wife and I went to Hawaii, met up with a soap artisan, and just tried it out the first time. At the end of the day, we ended up loving it so much that we brought some home for friends. They loved it. We got into the business. Really nice, short, simple. And the brand story around your ugly coffee, I don't know if you can stick that into a sentence or two. Like everything that you were talking to me about, and this might be a little bit tough, but you're talking about the concept, first of all, about getting people, helping people that are people that society kind of overlooks, people coming out of prison. Do they deserve a second chance? Absolutely. People that are having some form of either homeless or some form of a mental disorder, and having them get a second chance with this coffee, with a banner explaining their lifestyle. It's an interesting brand story, but it's something that you're gonna I can't see how you can put that into one one paragraph, but I think it'll work because it's so enticing. And I'm wondering what, like I saw Simon put down a brand with a social conscience. Yes, that's basically what it is. But at the end of the day, ugly coffee gives you a lift. Yes, yes, yes. Simon. All right. Anybody else listening? I'd like to get your feedback on that as well. Do you like the concept? Is there anything that you would add to this? All right. So now that we're at the bottom of the hour, let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, if you're interested in the hashtag wheel or the Wheel of Kelsey today, just enter hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. You'll be entered into the giveaway, and tag 2 people and you'll get a second entry. And today we got a really great giveaway. Sammy, why don't you talk about what it is?
Yeah, so I'm the founder of our full service marketing agency, which is focused on Amazon, called Regrow Media. In that, we are managing almost 60 plus brands right now, worldwide global brands. And we are a team of almost 35 plus team members right now. So we provide advertising services. And that is what we are trying to provide as a giveaway today, because we have been doing this for almost 5 years now. So we are trying to give that same service to your audience, whoever wants to participate in this. So we are going to give away 1 month of free advertising management from our side that normally costs $800. We're going to add that up as a bonus to you because you are today with us.
Very, very good. All right. So an $800 value from Sammy about his PPC agency. And if you're interested in it, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people. There we go. Chuck already on it. But hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people, and you will have a second entry. Okay. Now, Kels, I guess we have to go to our sponsor. I want to thank Jeff Schick Legal for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. You've probably heard on the podcast about Amazon suspensions. They're very real. It can happen at any time. And when it does happen, how do you get out of it? How does the little guy like you and me get out of these suspensions without paying an arm and a leg in legal fees? This is where Jeff Schick Legal is here to help. For a very low monthly retainer, for only $89, get access to Amazon attorney Jeff Schick. That's right. You can sit back, relax, enjoy that cup of coffee while listening to the Lunch with Norm podcast, knowing that you have an advocate and a partner in your business success. But wait, just mention Lunch with Norm and receive 50% off the first 2 months. Get the protection you need and visit jeffschick.com today. That's JEFFSCHICK.com. Now let's get back to the show. Okay. Hey, Yanni, it's nice to see you again. I haven't seen you commenting in a little while, so welcome back. Okay, let's change the topic and let's talk about advertising for a second. What are the new reports or the reports that have been launched on Amazon for Amazon advertising lately?
Yeah. So I have done one post in my LinkedIn profile, and that post received a lot more hate. A lot more hate. The post goes like this. Yeah. Then what I have anticipated, because I thought it will get some because of the tagline that I have used. The tagline says like this: "I'm the most honest person in the Amazon community." So the text follows by that. The same thing Amazon is trying to say to you by releasing this new report. So Amazon launched this new report called Gross and Invalid Traffic Report. In that report, all the searches that we do through all the tools, the third-party tools that we use, let's assume Helium or any other tools that we use that has the feature reverse A sign. Whenever we do and look back for keywords for which a particular competitor is ranked for, it does a reverse A sign search for our behalf. And every search counts as a bot search. Now, that might also happen that they're also clicking on our sponsored ads. Now, you may ask as a seller that, yes, I'm paying for all this and those bot search may be counting in my money. So Amazon released this report. In that report, they're saying that listen, I'm already counting for all those bot searches and I'm giving you the discount and I'm showing you the real data. So in that report, it gives impressions, then total impressions, gross impressions, invalid impressions. So it already shows you how much invalid impressions you have got, and it counts that, okay, By subtracting this is your total impressions that you have available, and I am only showing you this. It also shows you which campaign has received invalid clicks and how much invalid clicks you have received. Then it also shows you the gross clicks, that means the invalid clicks plus the real clicks, and also shows you the real clicks. So this particular report, there is no such action steps, but what you can do is you can look at the campaigns and you can decide and check that, okay, how much percentage of bot search these campaigns are giving you. That is one report which is really good, just giving you the real truth. And the next thing is the release of sponsored display video ads contextual targeting. Now, sponsored display video ads released just almost 1 or 1.5 months back, and they were lacking the contextual targeting where we can target other competitors. So that just rolled out where we can target other competitors as well, because sponsored display, it is going to be a valuable bomb for us, because we can target, especially for supplement brand owners, because they rely on repeat purchase so much. So they can now show their video ads to all those who have previously purchased their product, or maybe who have jumped to their listing and haven't bought, or maybe they have jumped to their competitor listing who are running ads but haven't bought, and they can target them as well. So this are, I think, two main features that every seller should try out. Yeah.
Okay, and what was the name of the first one that you mentioned?
Gross and invalid traffic report.
Okay, and that could be found.
That can be found by going into your metrics and reports in your advertising dashboard, and then you can just scroll down to report type and you can choose on that. There will be a lot of options like advertised product, then purchase product report, targeting report, then search term report, search impression share report, which is also another most important thing. Then placement report, and followed by the new one, the gross and invalid traffic report.
Okay, and are there any other features that you're using with Amazon advertising?
Yeah, I think that is quite new features that we are trying out. The next thing I would say is go into your search term impression share report, because one of the main questions that every seller asks is how to grow my sales, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're a big brand or a small brand, this is a question that everyone has. Every seminars, conferences that we go, this is a question that is asked. So I would ask you to go to your search term impression share report, download that report for the last 60 days or 90 days, preferably 60 days is better. Then look at all those search terms in which your impression rank is lower. Sorry, your impression rank is higher and your impression share percentage is lower. Now, I'll quickly explain you what these are. So you get search terms in one column, then followed by impression share percentage. Now, how that impression share percentage is calculated? Let's assume total 4 competitors are running ads for that particular keyword. And let's assume you are taking 50% of the impressions, and the remaining 3 competitors will take the remaining 50%, maybe divided evenly, or maybe someone is taking higher or lower, but you are taking the maximum impression share. So you will be ranked at number 1 in impression rank. Now, it also gives you the conversion rate for that keyword. It also gives you the ACoS that you're getting for that keyword. It also gives you the CTR, and it also gives you the cost per click and all those kinds of metrics. Now, how do you justify and figure out what you have to do with this? First of all, there are a few things that you need to do. First, sort out for all those keywords where your impression rank is more than 2 or 3, because there is clearly options and opportunity for you to improve more if you're not ranked in the first or second position. Now, after you have filtered that down, you will get a couple of keywords. If you're running a big account, let's say I'm doing $1 million a year or $3 million a year, you will get a couple of more keywords, like more than 60, 70 keywords in the last 60 days report. So in that, after filtering that out, next thing is you have to look at the ACoS and the conversion rate, and how is the CTR. We generally consider a CTR of more than 0.3% is generally good, and a conversion rate of more than 8% is good. And the ACoS, obviously, that depends on your margin and how the product is for your case. So if those metrics are in profitable side for you, but you are not ranked in the first or second position in terms of impression rank, and that keyword is not brand dominated, there is clearly a chance if you just focus on that keyword, get more impression by increasing bid or creating some more long tail keywords for that keyword, you'll clearly take more impressions in the market. And since your listing is already proven to be converted, so you will get more sales. That is how I think you should use this report, and this is a really valuable bomb for like this report is giving us.
Okay, great. So, we've talked a little bit about brand. We've talked a bit about the PPC and the PPC reports that you're using. Are there any other strategies that you're using to grow your business?
Yeah, so I'll tell you one offline marketing that we are doing right now. Have you been to India before?
No, but I'm planning to go this year.
Okay, so in India, there are transportation vehicles called auto rickshaw. Okay, these are three-wheeled vehicles, very small, almost like 2 feet wide and 5 to 6 feet in length. And there are two seats. Okay, first where the driver sits, which is in the middle, and in the back, two or three people can adjust. So how this is happening is in India, particularly in our state, which is Kolkata. In our state, there is 3 lakh to 4 lakh such auto rickshaws. 3 lakh to 4 lakh. You can imagine how much that number is. Now, what we are doing is we are trying to get more into content side, user generated content. So what we're doing is we are just making one small box, okay, small box, and in that box there is written, get paid $5 to taste our coffee. Okay. Now we are not putting dollars because it is in India. We are putting 500 rupees, which will be close to same as $5 to $8.
Right.
So in that we are providing small sachet of coffees, and they get the opportunity to taste that coffee. And then after that taste, they also have a QR code which they can scan and get all the processes, all the steps. Like step 1, do this, then share the video, tag us the video, then email us this. Okay, we have the email and all. So after they upload that video and tag us, we cross-check and send them that 500 rupees or $5. That is how we are targeting to get more user-generated content. Right now, it is at a very lower stage. We are not targeting more than 300 videos per month. But with the second investment that we are targeting, we are going to go more deep into this. So you can imagine right now we are targeting only 500 autos, but there is 3 lakh such autos. And also those autos are being ran in diesel. But in India recently, they have launched Totos, which is electric version of these autos. And they are a little bit taller in length.
Yeah.
So the same thing also happens in that as well, which we haven't started, but we are planning to start on that as well.
Well, that's great. One of the things we talk about on this podcast a lot, even the last podcast, was building up an influencer base, doing things differently, like through affiliates, which is influencer based, so to get generated content. And by going out and doing what you've done, that's smart. You're hitting the masses, and you're not going out the same way everybody else is. Here in Toronto, there are taxi cabs with the shark's fin. It's got digital advertising on it. I know a friend of mine owns a whole series of digital billboards right across the US, and it's perfect for remnant advertising. You can get it for next to nothing. But especially if you got like a supplement, or even a coffee like you're talking about, you can place these ads in these billboards for nothing. And what can you get from it? A ton of user-generated content. But by just putting a QR code, just throwing up a QR code in your packaging or anywhere you can, working with you could go to a media company, or you can just approach other podcasts to promote your brand. Go out there. If I know there's beauty brands out there that have podcasts, sponsor their podcast, get them to throw up a QR code or add a QR code or something like that. These are all different ways that people can get influencers without having to think about the way everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Like what we did is we had a very good friend of ours who is doing almost like 500,000 a month in sales, and they are selling coffee products, not the coffee. That means they are selling coffee mugs, insulated coffee mugs, and espresso makers, all those kind of thing. And they sell quite a lot of units. They have a huge email list. So what we have tied up with is we are providing QR codes with a small coupon code inside the product as a product insert. so that we get a cross promotion and a brand name out there. That is what we are doing with them.
Very good. You just gave me an idea. So using your email list, throwing in a coupon code, and just driving it back to a specific website or promotion is is a really great idea. However, when you excuse me, I don't know if you do this, but when you put on your QR code, one of the most important things that you can do, at least for me, is make sure it's a dynamic QR code. So you can have a dynamic URL. So you could change that URL on the season. So if you're giving out coffee mugs, insulated coffee mugs, it might be for Mother's Day, it might be for Valentine's Day, it might be for Father's Day, any of the holidays. So for Christmas, whatever it is, but you can change it and just change the landing page people go on, so it looks like it's more timely.
Okay, it's like a URL rotator, right?
It's not even a URL rotator. So like, let's say that you go into what's my, I use QR Monkey. That's, and I use another one as well. We have two of them. I got it on AppSumo, but QR Monkey will allow you to go in and really customize your QR codes, change the colors, change the shapes. They're very customizable. Throw the logo in the middle, and you don't have to, like, you can have a static QR code going to a landing page wherever you want to drive it. It could be to a website, it could be wherever. What I use is a dynamic QR code. It's not a rotator. What I do is I'll have somebody from the team physically go in, enter go to the QR code, and for Valentine's Day, any sales 1 month earlier are going to Valentine's Day. For Christmas, stocking stuffers, page going over to a stocking stuffer page. So it's not on the it's not a rotator, because I can't control when those will happen, but this is a specific time period. And what does that allow you to do? It allows you, when you drive the traffic over, let's say it's for repeat customers, or it could be for single purchases, you can custom craft that landing page to try to entice the person to give you their email address. So it could be for Christmas recipes, it could be for some special add-on, but you can entice. And what I find is, if you make it more custom like that, you have a better chance of getting their emails.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I need to implement this as soon as possible. I'm just writing out all this that you have shared.
So let me see. I just want to, I guess at the end of the day, with what you're doing with your ugly coffee, and this might be too early to tell, but are you going to be doing anything differently in 2023?
With this particular brand?
Yeah. Or, I mean, we could have it could be a broad overview, right? What are people needing to do differently in 2023 for their brand?
Yeah, I mean, it comes to how targeted your audience is. I mean, all of the people that we see that are coming to start this business, they are going very broad, not focusing on a particular niche. Like for us, we figured out that entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and IT professionals lack this kind of nutrients in their life cycle, in their current work, because they generally put a lot more hours on daily basis, and they generally don't or forget to take the lunch, dinners, and all.
Yeah.
So that is our target audiences. It is very small, not going very broad, same as other coffees. You need to be very specific about your customer avatar is. Now, if you're a seller for a long time, you get the brand analytics where it shows the demographics report, like how much is whether it is male or female, what is the age group. So those kind of report we can easily get based on which targeting we are going to select. I think going as much narrow as possible, but not too much narrow so that there is no audience. Figuring out a niche and only targeting products, building products specifically for that niche. I think that is going to be the go-to for the coming year. And the product quality, obviously, that is going to matter a lot.
Okay, very good. All right, we've got a giveaway today. It's got an $800 value, and that is PPC management for a month. from Sammy. If you're interested, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey or tag 2 people and you'll get a second entry. Let's go to, I think Yanni's got a question there, Kelsey. And if anybody else has any questions about brand or PPC, just throw them into the comment section.
Yeah, our question from Yanni is, can you back up with numbers if A++ premium is more effective than the regular A+?
Yeah. So obviously, in order to get premium A+, you need to first have 15 A+ content. And by doing 15 A+ content, I'm sure you already got the data yourself as well, right? How much converting it is. Now, going to the premium one, obviously, if you are going to show more details about your product, because you get option of showing your videos, much better scrolling images, bigger images. So obviously, the more you can show, the more conversion you are going to get. Obviously, the numbers that you can see are going to be much more higher than normal A+ content. That is why it is called premium.
Okay. It looks like Claudia's thrown in a question as well.
All right, from Claudia. Can we get UGC the way Sammy is doing it by offering $5 for a video of the customer using our product, and then we can load it onto the video and post sections of our listing on Amazon? Maybe that could be on our insert card. How can we apply the strategy to Amazon and stay within their TOS?
I can feel this one. So that's not a problem. Paying an influencer to do a user-generated content, not an issue. Asking that influencer or that person to do a review, it really is not an issue, except that you're paying them $5. If this was just somebody like just tag us with your user-generated comment and they do a review, that's absolutely 100% not against Amazon TOS if they leave a review, but I'm not really targeting them to leave that review. So I'm just trying to talk about what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, what's a gray area, what's not a gray area. There's no gray, it's white or black with Amazon. And if you are incentivizing anybody for anything, technically, that's an incentivized review if they put one in. However, and Claudia, one of the things that you can do, what Sammy's doing is brilliant. Offer $5. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, we're paying right now, Kelsey, what are we paying for influencers? It could be $100 is nothing now for influencers. Like, influencers are getting paid huge dollars. And by the way, that's why I'm doing my series on TikTok starting January 1st about influencers and where to go, how to get them, and if you want to become an influencer, what to do. So this is something that we've been gathering up because people are doing it wrong or it's too complicated. Why not, ask somebody for, give them $5, no problems, but do not set a message to them saying, hey, by the way, you got my product. Can you leave us a review? That's just not good. That's just not kosher, for anybody sending out once somebody's got your product to ask them for a review, because it could be deemed an incentive review. Long-winded, but that's how I would look at it. But great way to get extra people, like getting people to do this. I've got product, forget which one I just got, but it was a $25 gift certificate. And yeah, that's pretty hefty.
That's huge.
Yeah, 25. So anyways, $5 should generate a lot. But some of the things that we do is we don't offer anything. We'll just say, hey, tag us. And we'll show people, like, we've got this knife product, and people will show us cutting or doing whatever with the knife. Hopefully it's just with food. Anyway, and we have had, by the way, some really bad images of just stupidity that come back. And you don't want, you're going to get that. You're going to get stupid people sending you user content. You don't like, there's so much user content we don't post. But if you get 100 back, I guarantee you there'll be 10 that are really good. And that's it. I don't know about what you see, Sammy, but 10 might be usable. and it could
I
even
think
be
you should
less than that.
try one post that is that you have rejected. Let's try to see how that works.
The for what was that, Sammy?
For the user generated content that you're getting, if you're posting them as a post, then the ones that you're rejecting, I think you should try once to see how that performs.
I have, and I'll tell you what it is, and you guys are not going to believe this. So we had a woman with this knife in her hand. It was a 8-inch knife, and she had been holding it like this, and she had this really crazy shirt on, and the lighting was awful. Like it looked really dramatic, and it was nothing to do with food. She just looked psycho, and we posted it, and that was one of our biggest engaged. Like we had more engagement on that post than almost any other post out there, but we also had complaints on it. So in social media, that's okay. On Amazon, that's not okay.
Okay.
So anyway, just go off on a tangent there. All right. Do we have any other questions?
No, that's it for today. There's still time to enter the Wheel of Kelsey. So if you write #Wheel of Kelsey, you'll be entered to win 1 month of free advertising management with a value of $800. So take 2 people for an extra entry. But yeah, that's it for questions.
Okay, fantastic. So let's go over to the sponsorship.
All right. Before we do that, Sammy, do you have any contact information for people that are interested in reaching out to you?
Yeah, you can reach out to our email address, sammySAMMY@regrowmedia.com, REGRO media.com. Or you can also check out our website, www.regrowmedia.com, or you can reach out to me at www.sammyakthar.com.
Very good. Okay,
Right.
Kelsey, run the ad. A big thank you to our sponsor, Post Purchase Pro, the only complete A to Z done for you real email and text marketing service built specifically for Amazon sellers. Post Purchase Pro creates all of your digital assets 100% for you, from marketing inserts, complete sales funnels, email follow-up sequences, and weekly email promotions. They manage and optimize everything for you to drive more sales, get higher ranking, and receive more reviews on Amazon. So check out Post Purchase Pro now to see if you too will see enormous growth like their nearly 500 clients worldwide. That's Post Purchase Pro at postpurchasepro.com/lunch. All right, let's get over to the wheel.
All right, here we go. Here's the Wheel of Kelsey.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right.
Okay,
thank
here we
you,
go.
everyone who entered. I'm going to shuffle these up and let's see who today's winner is. If you are the winner, please email me, kate@lunchwithnorm.com. And it looks like Rad is today's winner.
All right, congrats, Rad.
So Rad, if you could please email me, kate@lunchwithnorm.com. We'll connect you with Sammy and get you your free month.
Okay, and I just saw a comment that Simon made. Massive respect to Sammy for lifting these people that are rejected by society. And yes, that is absolutely, my sentiment as well. It's great that you found a way and an angle to put purpose back into people's lives and to give them a second chance. So, atta go, Sammy. Okay, so thank you, sir, for coming on the podcast today. I really enjoyed being on your podcast. Do you want to tell people about the name of your podcast?
Yeah, it's under my own name. You can search Sammy Akhtar, SAMMYAKTHAR, and you can get all sorts of content related to Amazon FBA, all experts we have there. Norm had an awesome show there, just speaking about all the marketings like posts, lives, all sorts of things. You need to go and check that out.
All right. So thank you so much. Want more great information? Don't forget to subscribe by clicking here. Also, If you want to check out our latest podcast, click over here.
Lunch with the